Chapter 22. On Sunday morning, I fell asleep at Kingdom Hall and Mama made me go for a walk when we got home. "You obviously need some air," she said, annoyed, "if you can't keep your eyes open for a 2-hour meeting." "I'd rather be inside," I lied and tried not to change too quickly into my running shoes. I winked at Anna as I tied the corny running shoes Mama had bought me, flexing my feet and trying hard not to smile. It was still cold out, but once I started running, the air seemed to grow warmer around me. I ran slowly, heading down the block, then around the corner toward the park that was a mile from our building. There were people dressed up in church clothes gathered outside the Baptist church near the park, and teenagers dressed in party clothes walking tiredly from the subway. At the entrance to the park, I stopped running and bent over to regain my breath. When I looked up again, I saw Tazria coming out of the park with a black dog on a leash. She was walking beside a tall girl with glasses and Tazria's narrow face and high cheekbones. I waved, and the girl lifted her hand and grinned. She walked with a bit of a limp and her left hand lifted into the air. Tazria tilted her head toward me but didn't wave. I jogged over to them. "Hey," I said. "Hey yourself," Tazria said. "This is my sister, Sheila." "Hey yourself," Sheila said. She grinned again, then bent down to pet the dog who was sniffing at me. Tazria raised an eyebrow at me but didn't say anything. "Good doggy," Sheila said. She had a high voice, like someone younger. "She's a good doggy," I said, bending down to stroke the dog's fur. "I wish I had one." "You can't have mine," Sheila said. "She's all mine." She sat down on the ground and buried her face in the dog's fur. I looked at Tazria and smiled. "I really wasn't going to take her from you guys." Then Tazria laughed. "She's kind of attached." "I see. Geez, Sheila." "All mine," Sheila said, grinning at me. A wind blew and I shivered. I was sweating underneath the running shoes, and the wind turned the sweat to freezing water on my back. "What's your dog's name?" "Sheba," Sheila said. "Sheba and Sheila forever." "You out running?" Tazria asked. "No, I'm riding a horse." "Of course I'm running." Below us, Sheila was making noises at Sheba. The dog lay down, putting its head on Sheila's lap. After a moment, she turned onto her back and let Sheila rub her stomach. "You a big runner in San Francisco?" Tazria asked. I shrugged. "Kinda." "I'm going to go there one day," she said, looking off. "I'm going to go see me all the great things about San Francisco." She turned to Sheila. "We need to moosey, Sheila." Sheila got up slowly and wiped off her butt. Sheba looked confused. "I'm going to go with you," Sheila said. Me and Tazria laughed. I shivered again, then started jogging in place. "You don't have to go all the way to San Francisco," I said. "I can tell you all about it. Be just like you were there." Tazria looked at me, her one eyebrow raised. She stared at me for a long time before she let herself start smiling again. "I'm game to try it that way first. Just get my bearings that way before I head on out there," she nodded. "I'm cold," Sheila said, pulling on Tazria's arm. "Then come running with me. That'll warm you up." Sheila shook her head and grinned. No. "I feel the same way, Sheila," Tazria said. "See you tomorrow, Evie." "Yeah," I said, waving and taking off into a run. Behind me, I could feel them standing there watching me. Could feel Tazria's smiling eyes on my back. I sped up, pumping my arms faster, hearing Lee's words, "Hip to chest with the hands, Spider, hip to chest." My body was fluid. My stride felt flawless. In my head, I saw myself in slow motion, running against the cold wind blowing up all around me, running hard against it, into it, through it, and winning. I, Evie Tazria Thomas Green, was winning.